Malaysia, to deliver his remarks.
Your Excellency Nguyen Xuan Phuc, Prime Minister of Vietnam, Your Majesty, Excellencies. First and foremost, let me extend my sincerest appreciation to Vietnam for convening this meeting today. My gratitude also goes out to my fellow ASEAN states and +3 leaders for your participation in today's special summit. Your Majesty, Excellencies, Malaysia is deeply concerned with the rapid escalation and the spread of infections globally, with more than 1.8 million confirmed cases and over 115,000 deaths worldwide as of yesterday. We must increase our efforts to tackle COVID-19 effectively. On Malaysia's part, our aim is to significantly reduce the risk of further transmission of COVID-19 in our society. As of today, we recorded 4,987 confirmed cases with 77 deaths. In terms of recovery, we are proud that 2,444 cases, which is 49% of total cases, have fully recovered and been discharged. However, the war on COVID-19 is far from over. We understand the war is neither won nor lost yet. On the 16th of March, the Malaysian government declared a nationwide movement control order, the MCO, for a period of 2 weeks. And since then, the MCO has been extended into its second phase, which ends today, and a third phase, which begins tomorrow until 28th of April. The MCO aims to fundamentally enforce social distancing and prevent unnecessary human contact by closing non-essential government services and private premises, prohibiting mass movements and gatherings, including religious, sports, social, and cultural activities. Since the first phase of the MCO, we are seeing a stable increase of new cases every day. Furthermore, Malaysia's COVID-19 cases are currently at 7%, below the benchmark of 10% set by the World Health Organization. And our mortality rate is at the low 1.6%, compared with the global rate of 6.1%. However, Your Majesties and Excellencies, Malaysia is not and never will be complacent with these numbers. In order to truly gauge the position we are in as a nation, we are pursuing an aggressive mass testing per million capita strategy and rigorous contact tracing to ensure a more holistic view of what is happening on the ground. Accurate detections and diagnosis are crucial to defeat the spread of COVID-19. On that front, Malaysia is continuously enhancing our preparedness and national response by increasing screening centers, treatment hospitals, and quarantine centers across the country. In our pursuit of mass testing per million capita, we have also swiftly stepped up our laboratory capacity to 43 labs nationwide. Moreover, Malaysia is amongst the first countries to work with the World Health Organization, WHO, for the Solidarity Trial research project in finding a potential cure for COVID-19. And this involvement in a globally coordinated trial allows us to collect data, compare safety and effectiveness of treatment protocols using different drug combinations. On that note, Malaysia will share our findings with experts and scientists from ASEAN and our +3 partners to jointly pursue an effort in search of a vaccine for COVID-19. Your Majesty, Excellencies, As I explained to my fellow ASEAN colleagues this morning, unfortunately, this pandemic is a combination of a health and economic crisis. Recent reports have shown that affected nations have downgraded their growth forecast for 2020 due to slower growth in commerce, manufacturing, and trade. On Malaysia's part, we are aware of the adverse impact COVID-19 has brought on our economy, and most importantly, the lives of our people. Recently, I announced 3 stimulus packages for our people and micro, small, medium enterprises jointly worth 260 billion ringgit, 64.6 billion US dollars, which is 18.1% of our gross domestic product GDP. In these stimulus packages, cash handouts have also been channeled to the most vulnerable to obtain essential food items, and special incentives are provided for our farmers, fishermen, and breeders through a specially created food security fund by the government. Importantly for us in ASEAN+3, we must utilize the ASEAN+3 Emergency Rice Reserve, APTERR, to ensure our citizens are not threatened by food shortages in the near future. Your Majesty, Excellencies, for Malaysia, I'm confident we are on the right path. But our national economic strategy may not work for us as a regional bloc. Just this morning, I spoke about how we in ASEAN need to formulate an ASEAN economic recovery plan. Malaysia views this as the perfect avenue for our +3 partners to assist us as a regional bloc to ensure our economies are revived and the welfare of our collective 600 million citizens are preserved. This is imperative to maintain market stability and prevent the potential risk of economic recession. A coordinated and integrated recovery plan will be fundamental to ASEAN future and resilient post-COVID-19. As the regional force, we are deeply conscious that whatever we do will impact the Asia-Pacific as a whole. It is imperative that our +3 partners work closely with ASEAN to ensure the Asia-Pacific as a region recovers from this crisis together. For example, we can learn from China regarding movement restrictions they have imposed in their provinces and what they have done after lifting these restrictions. On Malaysia's part, China has been with us from the very beginning, and we sincerely appreciate the assistance rendered by China for Malaysia in our times of need thus far. On behalf of the Malaysian people, we would like to thank China for all they have done for us in facing the COVID-19 pandemic. With Japan, we can learn how they have managed to implement the largest stimulus package in the Asia-Pacific and how we as nations in ASEAN can extract what works for our nations. With the Republic of Korea, the solution for mass testing will be very useful for us in ASEAN to learn from and implement in our nations. For now, Malaysia is of the view that we must remain committed to keep our markets open, maintain normal flows of trade, services and investment to strengthen our regional economic resilience without unnecessary barriers to trade or disruption to global supply chains. Furthermore, we must stabilize the manufacturing and supply of essential goods and services required for this crisis, including vital medical supplies and critical agricultural products, all while sustaining and diversifying supply chain connectivity within the region and beyond. Your Majesty, Excellencies, Malaysia is confident that with our continued and collective capabilities in fighting COVID-19, We can and will overcome this together. Interdependence and unity is the order of the day, and no nation can go successfully maneuver through this crisis alone. Our resilience to COVID-19 is only as strong as our weakest link, and we must expand the scope of our cooperation with solidarity, vision, and leadership. ASEAN is determined to get through this as a bloc of 10 nations, and we in Malaysia would like our +3 partners to come on board with ASEAN and join our endeavors for a better and brighter future for our people. I thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. And now I would like to invite the State Council